And here we are for... Goodness gracious, sorry about that. And here we are for some support conversations. I don't know how long this one's going to be, because... Byleth doesn't have too many. And then I don't know how many we're going to have here, because I don't want to get any of these guys to A, because, you know, I want him to get A with Ingrid. I don't know what I want to do with Lysithea. I could do a couple. Yeah, I could do a couple. Marianne, I could do one. So I'll have a few. I don't know how super long it's going to be, but let's see. Let's get started with Hilda Byleth.
Professor, I asked to be on the sidelines. Why did you put me on the battlefield?
Because you're super strong.
You did protect me, so I guess I can't complain. Wait a second, you're hurt. Did that happen when you were defending me?
Maybe. I don't actually know.
Oh, I thought so. How could you be so reckless? Perhaps you'll say that that's what friends do. They look out for each other and save each other. But if I saw you getting attacked, I wouldn't risk my neck to save you.
Well, thanks. Thanks, Hilda.
No, don't overestimate me. I don't know if I've told you this, Professor. I have a very impressive big brother.
I've heard.
I'm not just saying that. He's strong, smart, nice. He's basically perfect. Before Claude turned up, people talked about him becoming the next leader of the Alliance.
Oh, really?
Don't mention that to Lawrence, by the way. He never shuts up about that kind of thing.
It's kind of disappointing that we never see him then.
My parents have high expectations for my brother, and he almost always meets them.
I mean, we saw Miklon, you know, someone who's pretty important, for better or for worse, to Sylvain.
No one expects anything of me. If something's even a little bit difficult, I find someone else to do it for me. That's what I've done my whole life. Of course. I can't stand the idea of not meeting someone's expectations.
So you do a hard 180 in the other direction.
From watching my brother, I mean. People force their expectations on you, and then if you fail, they look so disappointed. Whenever that happens to my poor brother, he looks just devastated. So don't expect anything of me, please. That way, I can't disappoint you. You're stubborn. Okay, fine. Keep believing in me.
You are a strange one, Hilda.
I support you and support my friends. I just don't want to let you down.
You are a strange one, Hilda. Let's... Seteth, what do you have to say?
Professor, a moment?
Sure, but only a moment.
I am sorry that I doubted your ability. I deeply regret ever holding such a view of you. It is obvious to me now that you are extraordinary. Do you doubt your own power, even now?
Maybe a little bit with this
Suppose
playthrough.
that's only natural. You've lived your whole life knowing next to nothing about yourself. Not even Gerald could have possibly known all there is to know about you. But I wonder, are you satisfied with that?
I think I'm pretty
Are
satisfied.
you content, not knowing who you are? Or do you yearn to know more?
I wouldn't even know where to begin with
But you
learning.
cannot go on not knowing, can you? So, only one more question matters. Are you ready?
Oh, that's ominous.
The truth. All of it. Learning it will doubtlessly have direct consequences on your life. I do not know what those will be. You may decide, once you learn it, that you wish you hadn't. But even if you have such regrets, you will never be able to return to ignorance. So, are you ready to know the truth?
I suppose I'll have to be.
That is what I wish to hear. Since the Archbishop put so much faith in you, I will continue to offer my aid. More than that, I will put my faith in you as well, and I will do all that is within my power to help you someday reach the truth.
I'm very glad to hear that, Seteth. I'm glad that you've turned around to come out to be willing to help me, as you do. And then we get Constance and Happy. These should be long ones. Oh, magic.
Another failure! How? Was there an error in my calculations? I had precious few materials as things stood. Where will I get more once these run out? Oh, don't act so rueful. You carried out my directions faithfully. Neither the credit nor the blame ought to be yours. My grand achievement is further away than I had hoped. House Nouvelle's future seems so dim.
Silence.
You're correct, of course. I mustn't be discouraged. It is hard to maintain one's patience after 5 years. But in the greater context of the history of House Nouvelle, 5 years is barely worth counting.
It really has been pretty short, especially for me, who was napping the whole
I have
time.
been in a low place indeed to require so much reassurance. And for your reassurance, I am truly grateful. You have spurred me to continue my research. You've been useful to me in many ways, in fact. Research assistant, confidant, test subject. All of this is preparing you well for your greater role to come.
Which is...
My personal attendant. There are few as naturally servile as you in all of Fodlan.
I don't know if that's
When
what I'll be
House
doing,
Nouvelle
though,
is
unfortunately.
at last restored, we simply must find the proper position for you. Granted, this will be difficult, perhaps even impossible to accept, given your current status. But I rarely let the impossible stop me. I shall see it all done. The restoration of my house, installing you as my servant, and more. Are you
All
ready
coming
to
next
begin
week
yet?
on Dragon Ball Z. I'm glad you...
Come now, my sulk ended minutes ago. Do keep up.
Oh, come now,
But
Constance.
on the rare occasion that I find myself at a loss, I grant you permission to lift my spirits.
Thanks. I see.
I don't know that I care for the hint of resignation in your tone, but no matter. I expect you to do your all for the sake of my house nonetheless.
I'm just glad you're happy. And then finally happy.
Oh, hey. I've been meaning to speak with you.
What's up? What about?
I heard that you've been telling people not to worry so much about my condition. Is that a fact?
Maybe.
No need to be coy. Thanks for doing that. But I do have one minor concern.
Is that you're actually worried?
You said that I haven't sighed in 5 years? What the heck is that about? Everyone's calling me half-decade happy now. First of all, terrible nickname. Second of all, you weren't even here. Did you just make that up?
Maybe.
Seriously? You think that's okay? That's so frustrating. I'm fighting the urge to sigh right now. Well, the nickname's bogus. I have absolutely sighed in the last 5 years.
Oh, really?
Wouldn't believe what a hassle it was. Monsters rampaging willy-nilly through Abyss. Thanks to some help from the people underground, no one got hurt. But it was a close call. Maybe if you had been there, it wouldn't have been so much trouble. Yes, you. You've got the Sword of the Creator. That thing can chop through monsters like nothing.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I was taking a nap.
Fishing for compliments now? Fine, you're a good leader. You watch out for all of us. Even when the rest of the world turns and hides from me, I know you've got my back. You make me feel safe. Like I can be myself. Like I don't have to worry so much about keeping my emotions in check.
That's right,
Pretty
because you
sad
don't.
all that time you were gone.
Oh.
I could have left Derek Mock altogether. But then I started thinking, you might still be alive after all. So I went looking for you. Back to where you'd fallen and all.
You did all that for me?
Forget I said anything. Look at me getting all mushy and sincere. How embarrassing. Let's just go back to earlier when I was giving you a hard time.
I wouldn't have it any other way, Happy.
Hey, I can
You're a
feel
joy to be
embarrassed if I
around.
want to. I can feel however I want to feel. Whoa. Did I really just say that?
Wow.
I think that's enough vulnerability for one day. I'll see you around.
Thank you for opening up to me, Happy. Alright. Can't do Marianne Leone. I can do... I don't know how it works, so I'm going to go to Ingrid, Shamir, and Cyril. That's who I'm going to do for Claude.
Ah, hello, Ingrid. A good day to you.
Well, hello there. If it isn't Claude, always a pleasure.
You put in a fine performance in training today. I must redouble my own efforts.
Oh my goodness, Claude.
That's kind of you to say.
By the by, do you have a moment to spare? I have been meaning to ask for your input on some new strategies.
Oh, goodness. Only if you think someone as lowly as myself might be of service.
But of course, I value your skills more highly than most any other.
Oh, goodness.
Okay, time out. Listen, Ingrid, do you really have to say "oh goodness" every couple of seconds?
What do you expect? Speaking to me as you were, I only responded in kind.
What? Do I sound that strange? I thought I was acting earnest and industrious.
I mean, yes, you do. You sound nothing short of ridiculous.
Sheesh. Have you looked in the mirror lately? You're the one who's been walking around like Queen Uptight.
Excuse me? I'll admit it was a bit forced, but it certainly doesn't warrant such a title.
Look, this was fresh and fun for a while, but maybe it's time we called it quits. Acting like this isn't us. We're just going to make everyone think we've gone mad.
I agree. I must say, I have an easier time getting on with you when you're you, and all your you-ness. Come to think of it, you've always been more reliable than most anyone I know, when it really mattered.
Well, thanks for saying that. I think I liked you better when you were a bit pricklier too. I've gone so long without hearing one of your lectures, I'm almost starting to miss them.
I'm sure I can remedy that for you.
I didn't mean you need to go all out or anything. A little restraint would still be nice.
My lectures, as you call them, only persist as long as is necessary.
Oh, I think I'm coming down with a stomach ache. We'll talk later, okay? Okay, see ya.
You honestly expect me to believe that? Come back here, Claude.
There's really no better place for my midday nap than under the shade of a nice big tree. The twittering of the little birds. It's like they're singing a lullaby just for me. Ah! Is that a dagger? Am I being ambushed?
Claude, why are you lazing about? You should be training.
Shamir! Is this your doing? Talk about unfriendly. Another inch and you would have sliced my handsome nose clean off my roguishly beautiful face.
But I didn't. Fortunately for you.
You know, if you wanted to give me a talking to, you could have done so with your words instead. That's how most people do the talking thing.
Conversation was not my intention.
What then? A prank? That's not better. I thought we were under attack. I could have died from the shock.
Look closely at the dagger.
Is that... right. There's a poor spider impaled on it.
A poisonous spider. The tiniest bite from which can cause fever, headache, and relentless vomiting. Or worse.
Yikes. I guess this little guy is more vicious than he looks.
I noticed it descending towards your face.
Ah, so you saved me from a certain doom. Well, in that case, I'm sorry for questioning your motives. I promise to repay the favor someday.
I'll keep that in mind.
Sorry, Claude. You can't go past.
Huh? Ah, Cyril, it's you. Happy I've got something I need to check in the Holy Tomb. You didn't say anything when we came here with Teach.
Lady Rhea said it was okay for you to go in there just that one time, but not anymore. I gotta do what Lady Rhea says. You wanna break them rules? Then you'll be her enemy. If you're trying to do that, I'll have to fight you.
Fine, I get it. I wouldn't hesitate to make an enemy of Rhea if it came to that. But I'd rather not fight with you. So I'll back off. For now.
Why is that?
Does it matter?
Dunno. With your status, you could smack me to the ground and walk right over me.
I guess. But I wouldn't. We're friends.
I thought you were the kind of guy who'd smack down just about anybody if you needed to.
You really are a stubborn one. All right then, I'll tell you. I swore I'd change this world so that those without status are no longer oppressed. Though you were never one of the people I was hoping to save. I never knew that there were people in Elmira in your kind of situation. I realized that my own perspective was too narrow. You helped me realize that. So, I owe you.
Did you just say you're all about saving people who are oppressed? Really?
I did. Is it so strange to hear that from me?
It's just... you reminded me of Lady Rhea there for a second. Lady Rhea always tried to save us folks without any status in the world. Like when she let an outsider like me stay at the monastery. That was real nice. She brought in those kids from Remire Village when they lost their parents, and...
Well, I'm not a religious man. I'm sure Rhea wouldn't want to be lumped in with a guy like me.
Lady Rhea didn't do those things because the goddess told her she should. She did it because she wanted to. I can tell you that.
I see. In that case, maybe I don't need to make an enemy of her. Thanks, Cyril. I think you've brought me a step closer to my dream.
Thanks to you too, Claude. If I was able to help you, then that makes me happy.
Aha, Lysithea. It's wrong to tease, yet I can hardly help myself. I know a secret. Your secret, in fact.
I think you mean a baseless rumor. Why are you wasting your time? And mine, for that matter.
Well... it's a secret that could completely overturn what is considered common knowledge in Crest research.
Shut your mouth! Just... Let's go talk somewhere other than here. Okay, where did you hear about it?
There was a sort of accident in Professor Hanneman's room.
I should have figured. You haven't told anyone, have you?
Of course not. If someone else were to learn you have 2 crests, I might lose you as a test subject.
Please stop talking so loudly. So what if I have 2 crests? If you insist on speaking of it, please do so quietly.
My intuition was correct. You do have 2 crests.
Wait, what? Did you just trick me?
Trick is such a strong word. I think of it as testing a hypothesis. The truth is, I simply made an educated guess.
Well, now that I've confirmed it for you, there's not much I can do.
I disagree. For example, you could tell me if you were born with them, or is the source magical? What does it feel like to use both crests at the same time? Is it pleasant, painful, euphoric?
Enough is enough! I am done talking about this. As though I'd speak of this to the likes of you.
I understand her desire for privacy, but to refuse my request for knowledge? It's, well, it's rude.
Hey, Cyril! Cyril? What is he staring at? I see. Hey! What are you looking at there? Anything interesting? Let me have a look. 3 apples, 2 bags of ointment, 1 piece of graphite. Intriguing. Some sort of code, perhaps?
Nah, I was just asked to go out and buy the stuff on this list.
Oh, that's all? Sorry for interrupting in that case. This is kind of a one-person job, so I won't bother you by offering aid.
Well, you actually helped a lot just now, reading that list for me like you did. I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't tell anybody, because I've been trying to keep it a secret, but I don't know how to read, so I wasn't sure what to do with the list.
Is that so? But why do you keep it a secret?
I'd hate it if people figured I wasn't up to a job just because I couldn't read.
You're always welcome to call on me for help. I'd be happy to.
Thanks, I will.
I really mean that. Anything you need.
Okay.
Good. Now, you better go get those supplies before it gets dark. Do you remember everything on the list? Need me to read it one more time for you?
That would be pretty helpful, actually.
All right, listen up. I'm not gonna do this a 3rd time.
Lysithia's not a good liar, is she? She knew I was in trouble right away. Hang on. Did she just want to act like a big sister again? But she looked real happy when she was helping me. And I think I'd like to see that smile again sometime.
These ones look good. I probably shouldn't pick them, though.
Ah, Marianne. Harvesting the crops?
Oh, yes, Linhart. I found which vegetables are ripe and ready, but would you mind picking them for me?
See, you've mistaken me for someone who sticks his hands in the dirt.
I'm just afraid that if I touch them, well...
Oh, I see. You're afraid everyone who eats them will suffer bad luck.
Yes, it's true. I wouldn't want anyone else to suffer because of me.
Marianne, that's simply not the way the world works. You see... Oh, forget it. Tell me which ones to pick.
Thank you so much, Linhart.
Happy to help, but I'm beat. You'll have to carry them yourself, so take them straight in, okay?
Okay.
Oh, actually, before I go, do you mind if I ask you a question? I've been thinking, isn't it more the case your crest brings happiness rather than bad luck?
Happiness? I don't understand.
Yes, happiness. Because your crest is so rare. It excites my mind and, well, if not for your crest, we might never have met. And I feel that would be a tremendous loss. Backbreaking as it was, I enjoyed today. I'm quite happy right now, and it's due entirely to your crest.
I suppose so when you put it that way, but
It's a huge breakthrough to know that your crest causes happiness instead of bad luck. I'd love to study it thoroughly, but only if you'd agree. Really, I just want to find a way for your crest to bring you happiness too.
I'm sorry, but I can't. I have to decline.
I understand. May I ask one more thing, though? Could you please hand me one of those vegetables?
I don't think that's a good idea, but if you insist.
Thank you, Marianne. I think this looks like a very lucky vegetable. Hello, Hilda.
Oh, Seteth! Good day!
Is it?
Did I do something wrong?
Not to my knowledge. But I cannot help but notice that you no longer shy away when I speak to you.
You noticed that, huh? When you stare at me, I feel like you're peering into my soul.
And that no longer bothers you? Does that mean your conscience is finally clear?
Nah, I got used to it. I know you're not scary.
That's unfortunate. You really should do something to correct your lazy behavior.
Maybe that's true. I wouldn't want to be like the fox, forced to wander in the snow all winter.
I'm pleased to see you grasp the moral of the story.
Don't you think the squirrel was a little cold-hearted, though? He seems not to care about what happens to his friend, as long as he himself is happy.
You know, that is a valid point. I have no wish to encourage that attitude in children. Perhaps if the fox only survives thanks to the squirrel kindly sharing some of his acorns. How does that sound to you?
I like it okay. I'm sure the kids will admire that nice, compassionate squirrel.
Thank you for your insight. As it happens, I have some other stories that I wrote for Flame. Would you like to hear them?
You should make a book out of them. It's a shame that only Flane and I get to enjoy them.
What a fine idea! I will begin immediately. Though I feel such a book requires illustrations, and I have no artistic talent. Would you lend me a hand?
I think Ignatz might be a better choice, but I can probably manage. Not like they need to be terribly fancy.
I could use some more of your wisdom with regard to the content of the stories also.
That sounds like a pain, but I'm invested in this now. Let's do it!
Excellent! That's wonderful to hear. Let us produce the very best book we can, for the children's sake.
He looks so excited. I can't help but lend a hand.
Hello again, Seteth. Oh, full basket. Big catch?
Indeed. Thanks to you, I now know all about the proper use of bait.
Even so, that's quite the haul.
I have developed a few tricks of my own as well. In my enthusiasm, I may have gotten a little greedy.
Oh, yeah?
Once I started to catch fish, I began to pay very close attention to the number I had caught. I hear it is not uncommon for one to become a little preoccupied with that sort of thing. And when I recalled the prospect of having what I caught cooked for me, the challenge was too tempting to ignore. But alas, it seems I have gotten a little more preoccupied than is appropriate for my age.
Well, that's only natural. Seeing what you've already got just makes you curious how far you can take it.
It has made fishing an even richer experience for me. And for that, I must thank you.
Don't mention it. Actually, I should thank you too.
Oh?
Yeah. Used to be, I only ever fished for food. Lately, though, I've been coming here just to relax. I do still eat the fish, of course, but I appreciate fishing in a whole new way now.
Seems we have both made worthwhile discoveries. So which is it today? Hunger or relaxation?
I'd only planned to take it easy, but seeing all you've caught has definitely made me hungry.
I had planned to bring all of them to you regardless. Take as many as you please.
Hey, thanks. In that case, why don't we eat together? You can leave all the cooking to me.
Is something troubling you, Ingrid?
Oh, Seteth. You seem to have caught me when I thought nobody was around.
Perhaps I can help, if you would like to share.
I wouldn't want to bother you with my trivialities.
I will not pry, of course. But if you keep it to yourself, no one will be able to help you.
That's true. It's regarding my father.
Count Galatea. I have met him once or twice.
Yes, that's him. He and I have parted ways now. House Galatea was financially unstable for a long time. We were hardly able to support our soldiers and their steeds. My father had hopes that with my crest, I'd be married into a noble family, and that House Galatea's financial troubles would be a thing of the past.
Ah, I see. And the other house would benefit from the addition of your crest-bearing blood.
That was certainly the idea, but I broke ties with them. I do wonder how they are doing back home.
It seems to me you have suffered much for the misfortune of being born with a crest.
I beg your pardon?
I know crests are highly valued, but they are also a burden. My feelings are mixed.
You truly think so? But you're so devoted to the goddess. I'm surprised to hear you say such a thing.
Perhaps one day I will expound upon my opinion of crests in greater detail with you. For now, let it suffice to say that whether or not you bear one is secondary to your identity. You are a person, first and foremost. And you should be permitted to grow as a person, crest or not.
I agree. Thank you for listening.
If you ever wish to discuss this again, consider me available whenever you please.
Thank you so much.
I heard what you did. I'm disappointed, Leonie.
Hi, Shamir. What have you heard exactly?
You aimed your bow at a group of students passing through the monastery. Was this your idiotic idea of training? I told you to be cautious.
I'm sorry. Idiotic's a bit harsh, though, isn't it?
What were you planning on doing after you took aim? Shooting passersby? Of course not. If you want to train, choose a target you can actually shoot.
I know. Everyone was pretty mad. I really am sorry.
Nobody's happy to have a bow pointed at them.
My mentor used to do that kind of thing a lot.
Mentor? Was that Gerald? I don't know much about him. Would he really do that?
Would and did. Mostly when he was drunk, though.
Not a good habit to emulate. From now on, only aim at bugs, like I showed you.
But, I don't really like bugs.
You don't like bugs? That should make you want to aim at them even more.
I just can't look at them. Seeing all the extra legs and things, ugh, makes my skin crawl.
Then just draw some spiders and hang them on the walls. Aim at the drawings whenever you pass one. Overcome your fear of bugs while you train.
You want me to draw spiders? Ew, no. Would that even help?
Yes, I should know.
Huh? You were scared of them too?
I was, but they don't bother me anymore.
Okay, you've talked me into it. I'll give it a try.
And don't hang them where other people might pass.
Got it. Learn my lesson. Promise.
I'm choosing to believe that.
Hey Shamir, how do you think I'm doing with my bow lately? Think I'm getting pretty good? I hit closer to the bullseye today, and that felt real good.
You were fine.
Fine? That might be the nicest thing you've ever said to me, Shamir.
You take too many direct shots, though.
But it's easier if you shoot straight.
Of course it is. But if you can hit your enemy with a straight shot, you're too close. Tell me, Cyril, what's an archer's greatest weakness?
When we get too close to the enemy and we can't shoot the way we're supposed to?
Exactly. As an archer, your position is critical. Know exactly how far the enemy is and keep a minimum safe distance. Understood?
You mean to stay away from the enemies, but not too far away or my arrows can't hit them.
So you understand why you can't rely on straight shots. You have to use curved shots as well. Never run up to your target. Hit them from a safe range.
Shoot them from a safe range with curved shots.
Archers should always control the battlefield.
Okay, yeah, I get that. I'm gonna go practice some of those curved shots right now.
You're not a bad student. If nothing else, you have the right attitude.
You think so?
Keep it up.
I will.
No, I missed the opportunity to. Dang it. Well, I guess that's about it for supports then. No, I missed this one too! Ah, dang it! Ah, it's depressing. Oh well. I'll have to work on that for the next time. Alright, well, I guess that's about it for supports. We got a few for Claude, but I don't want to do because I want to do Ingrid, because Ingrid only has one left. We got several for Hilda that I don't want to do because there's only one left for Seteth. We actually saw a lot of Seteth in this, and I like seeing Seteth as like, oh yeah, he's actually really kind and not a jerk-off like you kind of see at the beginning of the game. You gotta go through that every time you want to play through, but well, I guess with that, that's about everything that we're going to see in this video, so I'll see you next time, and as a heads up, I think I might be bringing in something kind of new, kind of interesting, so look forward to that next time, and I'll see you then.